Good afternoon, everybody, on this Saturday afternoon in this nice red hot sunshine, which is about time we had a summer. Yes, this is a transfer show. I'm sure it's going to be a spicy one. We can feel it already. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by John. How are you, John?
Big up, Tony, mate. How are you doing? Thanks so much, on, man. Hope you're well. It's beautiful weather here today. And you know what? Hope it stays this way. It's a bit cloudy here, though, but it's still warm.
Yeah.
And let's hope the weather stays as it is, mate.
Absolutely. Guys, before we get in the show, if you do like what you see, please don't forget to smash that like if you're on It's All Black and White TV. Do smash the like. It does help the channel. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, then come and hit the subscribe. Come and join this great community we've got here on the way towards 1200. Also, hit the bell notification. That tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. If you want to become a member, it is 99p. Do that clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, do that in the chat, clicking on the $sign, using the super chat function. All money reinvested in the channel. And if you do use super chat, your chat is read out first as well. Look, before I get into any comments and before I get into the nitty-gritties of this transfer show, I just want to quickly touch base because obviously I was away Thursday, but I managed to watch the England game. Yes, okay. Look, England-Denmark, not a great game, not pretty. We went 1-0 up. Denmark scored a great equaliser. Look, no keeper saving that equaliser, by the way. But England, what on earth are they doing? It is absolutely piss poor, I'm sorry, and that is my opinion, piss poor. If they want to win this tournament, they're going to have to be a lot better than that. Now, looking ahead to Tuesday, I would say 2 changes are needed, or even just 1 change. Now, option 1 is the first one, which is only 1 change. I would remove Alexander-Arnold out of the team completely, and in that midfield, I'd either throw in Gallagher, Wharton or Mainoo. You've took these guys. Gallagher's looked all right when he's come on. Adam Wharton's got that little bit of creativity about him. Or you got Mainoo. But there again, if you're removing Trent Alexander-Arnold, maybe you could bring one of them on in the second half. So this is what I'm going to see with option 1. So option 1 is Alexander-Arnold out, drop Bellingham back in alongside Rice, but he still get forward. Put Foden in the number 10 role, where he should be playing, and play Anthony Gordon out left. Because Anthony Gordon doesn't just provide you the width with the crosses, but he also tracks back as well, which is important. I would now do that. Option 2. Now, this is a second option. Drop Alexander-Arnold and drop Foden. I think Foden's been poor, if I'm honest. Yes, he may look great in the Premier League, but at international level, he looks to be found wanting. So drop Alexander-Arnold, drop Foden, and then maybe put in that midfield, maybe a Gallagher or a Mainoo or a Rice, or a Wharton, put them in the midfield. Wharton, we know, can do well from defensive midfield. We've seen the passes he's done for Palace and things like that. You could play one of them, and then Anthony Gordon on the left as well. Do you go as far as maybe dropping Harry Kane and putting Watkins up there or Ivan Toney? That's another question. You don't want to make too many changes because obviously you want to win the group. Now, the way England are playing now, it reminds you of Euro 2020. We won the first game 1-0 against Croatia. We drew 0-0 with the Scots, which was an awful, awful game. If we remember at Wembley, Stones hit the post in that game after 5 minutes. Then we beat Czechia, because they were Czech Republic, but they're now called Czechia. And we beat them 1-0 through Raheem Sterling. And we then got through, we won the group and got through the knockouts where we beat Germany. And we played better once we got the knockouts. So is it a case that players are playing too cautiously just because they want to get out of the group? But when you've scored, I think we need to keep attacking. The press isn't there. The intensity is not there. Just keep pressing teams. Because I tell you now, if we've got Gordon on that left-hand side, he's ripping some of these teams apart. I'm sorry. Denmark would have been terrified if Gordon was up there. Yes, okay, Southgate made some good changes on Thursday. Yes, he brought Eze and that on. But it didn't really make a massive impact. Okay, Foden hit a post. Watkins had his shot saved by Kasper Schmeichel. But other than that, England weren't there. If anybody's going to win that game, it could have been Denmark. And Højbjerg could have won it near the end. So I hope somebody's had a word with Southgate and told him, to shake this up. Because I tell you now, if we don't win that group, we play Germany next round. And do you want to be playing Germany next round? The way they're playing at the moment? Not really. So, look, the best bet we can do is go out there, win the game. Last time we played Slovenia, we beat them 1-0 at Wembley, and it took till an 84th minute for Harry Kane to break the deadlock. So we know Slovenia are no mugs. But look, let's get out there. Let's beat Slovenia, win the group, and then you play a third place team from either groups D, E, or F in the next round. So you could be playing a Romania or a Czechia or whoever. And then you get the quarterfinals where you could end up playing the Netherlands or something like that. Let's be honest, if we're in meltdown over England, the French fans are in meltdown over France, because that was a poor game last night. France and Netherlands, the first 0-0 draw in 50 games in the tournament. Poor game. Yes, okay, a bit of controversy. And Georgia and Czechia are currently playing at the moment. It's 0-0. But I do feel sorry for these two teams, because VAR has David Coote on board. And so these two, any controversial decisions, David Coote's going to make sure they are controversial, because that man is bloody useless. How he's even at the Euros along with that, well, another waste of space. So that's my views on the England game. Anyway, right, so we're going into the transfer stories now. Now, the one that's dominating today. But actually, before I get into that one, I just want to put a word in about this guy, by the way. This man is very, very poor as a goalkeeper. What an absolute donkey he's turned into. I mean, look, come on. Martin Dubravka. We were hoping he was going to have a great Euros so we could get the price bumped up. Well, he's had far from that. He's been absolutely terrible in goal. And yesterday, what the hell did I see yesterday? Because I was sitting there watching that game. And it looked like Martin Dubravka was scared of the ball for the second goal. He sort of was putting his hands up as if to say, oh, the ball's coming. And he was doing exactly what he'd done for us last season. Too indecisive. Do I come off my lane? Do I stay on my lane? Do I come off? Do I stay? And he was caught in the middle. And look, he should never have conceded that second goal yesterday. So for me, Dubravka's been really, really poor. So I think the odds of Saudis putting in a £40 million bid for him has gone now. I think we'll be lucky if we get $5 million for him. But look, John, did you see that goal he done yesterday? That was an absolute howler, wasn't it?
I do watch the game live, but I've seen the clips now, and I think this guy, seriously, what was he doing? He comes out, is you bullying that area? He didn't bully the area, did he? Just come out and he decides to stop, thinking, do you know what? I'm going to let him put the ball past him. Do you know what I mean? It was awful keeping Tony. It is absolutely shocking keeper. I look at the feast frame now. He's looking that way, right? He's not even looking at the bar. And he made it so easy for the striker to get in. Yeah? I mean, I think he's so good. I tell you what, this guy's done. And I'll be amazed if he's still at Newcastle in the summer next season. I really do. But if he's there, don't play him. Don't even pick him in the team. I'm not. As far as I'm concerned, Tony, he's done. He is done. Yeah? He should go in the summer. And I hope that he goes to another club. I mean, Celtic wants him as well. Deary me. But
they can have him. They can have him.
What do I know? He might do well for Celtic. He might do Philly.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly nip in some comments, then we'll get on to the first thing. Brian says, I'm fuming our fans can blame the board all they want, but unlike me, Tony, and very others are clued up into what's really happening here. Edward Howe and Andy Pandy are running the ship. Sack him, says Brian. Strong words, Brian. Strong words. I don't like Andy Pandy because I think he's got too much to say, if I'm honest. He's got too much clout in the club. It gets much worse. Minty on the verge of being sold to Everton. I don't subscribe to this FFP bollocks. He's being sold because Eddie Howe doesn't want him. Simple. I mean, look, yes, we're all seeing this apparently, that Eddie Howe doesn't want Minty, and I'm very surprised to this, because at the end of the day, I would like to see Minty given a chance at Newcastle United. But we will talk more about Minty anyway. Tino, hi to you. He says Minty not going to Everton. He says, I wouldn't mind Calvert-Lewin. Hello, says Andrew. 20 million for DCL. Trafford, Kelly, can you start to see a trend here? Can't wait till next season. I'm going to be on Eddie Howe, watch every single game. Says Brian, afternoon, fellow Calvert-Lewin lover, says Bia Bacon. Jesus. Eddie clearly knows what players he wants. Trust the club and trust the board, says Tino. Peter McCardle, hi mate, he says, if it's true about DCL, heads will roll early this season. We were never in for a leasey. If this is what our transfer window consists of, Trafford, DCL, 40 million. Eddie's only interested in average English players. Do you know what, Peter? The thing is, there's a lot of people saying this now. Trust the club. DCL won't cost 40 million, no way, because he's only got a year left. Eddie's got managed up for over a decade. I fully trust him tactically and financially. The thing is, though, Tino, look, as much as we might like Eddie Howe, is he the right manager for a big club? That's what you've got to look at. You've managed Bournemouth. You're not at Bournemouth no more. You're at Newcastle United. You're at a club that wants to be an elite club.
Big difference. Big difference.
And
it's like managing. It's like using to manage Torquay and managing Real Madrid. Big difference there.
Absolutely, John. Keeping it tuned. Hi, mate. Hi, GS. Not well. He says, hello, everyone. Guess who's back? PS DCL, a mega no from me. Is he meant to be competition for Wilson as who starts on the bench, on the medical bench? The stream should have started. Hi, Tony, says Trolls. Hi to you, mate. I hope you're well. Is Tony running as my stream knackered? It took a while for it to come on for some reason. I don't know what happened there. I'm always late, says Trolls. Yeah, I know. It's on now. You've got it now. That's excellent.
There you go.
Afternoon, Tony in Salford Sinclair, says BF Aiken. No, says Trolls for DCL. Andrew says DCL is up a shit. I'm well left off if this is true. I would rather have Hosselu back. Mick says, big up Mr. T and GS. You're 8 minutes late. Yeah, sorry about that. Look. Right, let's get into this one anyway. So this was going to be the first one that was going to come up on screen anyway. So yes, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Right. How happy are we with Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Well, to be honest with you, not for me. He's not really a goal. Look, his goal scoring ratio is crap. Let's be honest. It's 1-4. 54 goals in over 200 games. That's not really a goal scoring record, is it? I mean, look. Okay, yes, we can say about Calvert-Lewin that he's playing in a poor Everton side. Yes, we know he's playing in a poor Everton side, but it's not just the fact he's playing in a poor Everton side. It's just his goal scoring record's not there. I mean, look, yes, he's had his injury troubles. Yes, he played 38 games last season for Everton. He started 26 out of 32 in the Premier League. He got 2 assists and he got 7 goals. 7 goals in 32 games. Is that good enough if you want to be in the Champions League next season? No, not for me. I mean, yes, he had a good end to the season, especially if you look at the Liverpool game where he played 89 minutes, scored 1 goal. He had 2 shots on target, 1 off target. He missed 1 big chance. And he made 8 out of 14 accurate passes. He's 27 years of age. Yes, it may be we've agreed personal terms or whatever with him, but at the end of the day, for me, I just think we can get better out there. I would rather keep Callum Wilson at the club, if I'm honest, as much as Wilson's injury prone, but Wilson's scoring record is much better, a hell of a lot better than what Calvert-Lewin's is, let's be honest. For me, I'll be very disappointed and very unhappy if Calvert-Lewin comes into the club, because I don't think he's good enough. As I say, we want to be in the top 4. We want to be challenging for. We want to challenge for trophies. Is this man going to win you a trophy? Probably not. No. If this man is so good, if Eddie Howe thinks Dominic Calvert-Lewin's so good, then if he's that good, Arsenal are desperate for a striker. Why aren't Arsenal in for him? Why is Liverpool not in for him? Why is Villa not in for him? Why is Chelsea not in for him? You know? Man City, why are they not in for him? Because they know he's not top-level striker. That's what he's not. He's not top-level. And Czechia have scored, by the way. So they gone 1-0 up over Georgia. But look, he is not good enough. Yes, he might be good for a mid-table team, but I certainly don't think he's a next-level striker. He doesn't even get in the England teams no more. That's how poor he is, you know. And for me, I just don't think he is the right striker to bring into the club. Okay, he's not going to be a starter. He's not getting past Isak. That's for us. That's one thing. Okay, if he comes in, he may play cup games. He'll have to be sitting on the bench because that's where he's going to be, a bench player. Now, if we keep Callum Wilson, Dominic Calvert-Lewin becomes third choice because Callum Wilson will be second choice all day long. Talking to Callum Wilson, apparently he's back on Tyneside and he's already starting training ahead of pre-season. So he wants to make sure he gets himself fit. But is he wanting to get himself fit to move on? Now, there is some people reporting that he is actually going, there is a VAR goal check for this. So hang on, David Coop might rule this. But, you know, some reports are saying, could Wilson be on his way to Spain? Now, that's interesting. Very interesting. But for me, Calvert-Lewin is a no. I always say I'll back a player that comes into the club. But I'm not convinced by Calvert-Lewin one iota. I hope Everton just say, well, they want a ridiculous fee and we walk away and go elsewhere. That's what I want to hope for at the end of the day. What about you, John?
I think you pretty much covered everything, Tony, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? I mean, look, Calvert-Lewin, I mean, when he's fit, I think he's a decent lad. I think he's a decent player. I really do. But for me, is he going to be the answer? Yeah. For me, I'm going to say no because, look, we're going to get a striker who's got a toe injury record and replace him with another player, right? Possibly with poor injury record, yeah? That is the thing, yeah? If you look at the goal scoring record, 1 and 4, that ain't not good enough. That's not going to win me a trophy or a title or fight for top 4. It really won't, yeah? But there's better strikers out there, Tony. There's better strikers out there, young ones as well, right? I know DCL is going to cost around 25 million quid, right? He's got 1 year left on his contract. He's 27. He's just turned 27 back in March, right? Big up Early Doors, by the way. Big up, follow him on Insta.
That's Tony, by the way. Sorry, mate, not Pete.
So, and let's be real, right? I mean, I'll go what Beard Vikings said, basically saying you can see where his pattern's going to go, right? I mean, Eddie is only interested in English players, yeah? Then we've got players like Isak, Tonali, and Bruno, right? They are quality. There are quality players out there, right? Why we have to go for British players? I've got no problems against British players, yeah? No problems at all whatsoever, yeah? If the right one comes along. Now, people's going to say to us and say, look, we've got Gordon, right? No one didn't want Gordon. Look what he's turned out to be. Yeah, but Gordon has been injured. That is the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. Dominic has. Yeah. I don't want him at Newcastle. Yeah. I want a younger striker. Is going to score more goals, right? And if Minte goes the other way, right? And he's their player of the season and gets Everton in the top 6 finish, and we don't, then I'm not being funny, but question needs to be answered because I love Eddie Howe to bits, right? I really do. But I'm hearing all eyes going to be on him in the summer because he needs to get us a trophy or get some top 4. I want to be ambitious, Tony. We haven't won a trophy since 1969. We haven't won a domestic trophy since 55. Yeah? That is a long damn time. Tony, I tell you what, mate, this is going to be a massive season for Newcastle. A massive, massive season. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I want to talk about Premier League later on my channel there, or if we get time. I've got something to say about that as well. And I hope he's going to be shot or about to say, yeah. And back to Dominic, yeah, for me, if you look at his injury record, right, back in 21-22 season, right, he missed 125 days, right, between August and December. That's 4 months out, yeah. Go back to 22-23 season, he had 60 days out, yeah. plus a hamstring. That's another 75 days. We're talking about another 6 months out? 6 months out, 22-23 season, yeah? 23-24 season, right? It was out for, I think it was out for nearly a month with a broken cheekbone, right? Plus 17 days fitness issues, right? So we're talking about a month. He played 30-odd games, right? Does that tell me, right, that this guy is going to rock up and make a difference in Newcastle United? Definitely not. I don't want him here. And people say, like, we're happy clappers, right? No, we're not. We speak the truth. Connor said it there. 8 goals, 4 and 7 goals, right? What's that? 19 goals in the last 3 seasons, yeah? If you average it out, that's 6 goals a season, yeah? Tony, I tell you something now, mate, right? Eddie better not get this guy. He better not get him at all. I do not want him at Newcastle. I do not. I really don't. Yeah? Because I tell you now, we'd be better off keeping Callum Wilson. Or, if you don't want Callum, go out and get a younger striker getting it in, yeah? Get a young striker, right? For the future. He's going to play second fiddle to Alexander Isak, right? And have it from there. Bro, this doesn't look good. Because if this deal goes ahead, right? Yeah, people say you've got to back him. But at the end of the day, I tell you what, it's injuries, man. And this is the problem with our fan base, right? The problem with our fan base, he's been linked. Yeah, let's go and get him. Let's get him. He's good, right? Do you know what I mean? Yeah? Before you go on, Tony, I'll make it quick, right? Sylvain Malfour, we got him on a 5-year deal, right? Hardly played. Simba Young, we bought him for 7 mil. Hardly played, right? Our record at Newcastle, our injury record and the medical staff of this club is an absolute disgrace, yeah? And that should have been sorted out throughout the summer. There should be an investigation on that, man. I'm telling you, yeah? People's going to say, John's talking shite, Shut up. Speak the truth, yeah? That is the truth, yeah? And people need to realise we do not want this guy at the club because of this injury record. Because our fan base, or some of our fan base, is easily pleased. Let's get him, yeah? Do you think I'm right or do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right or wrong? Or am I speaking the truth? Or
No, you're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, John. You know, look, as I said, I mean, look, Wilson only played 20 games last season. He started 9 of those and got 9 goals last season. He scored more than Calvert-Lewin last season, and Wilson was out with a lot with injuries. So, you know, this is the thing, you know, and this is a thing. Wilson scores a lot more in the Premier League than Dominic Calvert-Lewin does. Okay, people can argue and say, yeah, okay, he's playing in a poor Everton side. He's playing under poor managers like Sean Dyche, Frank Lampard, you know. But look, at the end of the day, I just want us to go out and sign somebody better than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm sorry, there's better out there. The strikers abroad you can get. I mean, look, you know, I mean, Jonathan David, you can get him. Maybe cost you 40 million, but he's a goal scorer.
And he's played in Europe as well, Tony. He's played in Europe as well.
Yeah.
Decent hasn't played in Europe. That is the thing. And people's going to say, because it's FFP, Lark, it's FFP. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, if you want quality, you want to win a trophy, you got to go out there and pay for it. You don't want cheapskates. We're supposed to be the richest. We're supposed to have the richest owners in the world, yeah? Now, all this FFP and PSR is killing us, yeah? Let's be real. Let's get rid of the players that aren't good enough, right, to make room for better players coming into the club.
Alan says we need to trade. We ain't sold anybody. That's the thing. We haven't, because we're trying to get rid of some of this deadwood. I mean, look, if Leicester are still wanting Sean Longstaff, we know Stoke City want him as well for 15 million quid. I think he's too good to drop down to championship level, if I'm honest. But I think if Leicester still want him, I think we need to sell him because we make 100% profit as well. So I would rather we sold Longstaff because we got plenty in midfield for next season. What is going on? I say no, says Paul. Key says Wilson's better than DCL. Keep Wilson if we need to. Yeah, I would as well. Foxy says I'd only take DCL if we have no fans in the stadium because that's the only way he scores consistently. Same as Bamford in the COVID season. Do you know what, Foxy? Very true, mate. Very true.
Well said.
And this is where I'm saying, where if he's that good of a striker, then how comes Arsenal haven't come in for him and they're in need of a striker? No, because they haven't got really a number 9. Chelsea don't really have a number 9, so they haven't come in for him. Aston Villa's not in for him. You know, Man City, Liverpool. Where's these top teams in from? We're the only club that's in from. What does that say? The owner stopped Howe from giving Dummett and Ritchie contracts, so hope they say no to this one too. Well, I doubt they will do because I think they're sanctioning it. Isak, Tonali, Bruno, Karius, Botman, all this English only stuff is rubbish. Yes, English is preferable language and culture barrier.
We think this though, right? Think this though, Tony, right? You've got a bad player. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter where you come from, where you live. If you're good enough, you are old enough. If you're old enough, you are good enough. It's as simple as that. I mean, Minte, I tell you what, if Minte goes, right, to Everton, right, and he does bits there, I'll tell you something now, he could score the winning goal the last day of the season to knock us out of European football again, and Everton qualifies to Europe as well. This guy cannot leave Newcastle United. You know what I mean? Because he is that good. Now, if Eddie doesn't want him, who signed him in the first place? I'm not blaming Eddie, but has that been someone else signed them up?
Well, I mean, look, we'll talk about him soon anyway. That's for sure.
I don't want to be brutal, Tony. You know that. I mean, not just people think I'm League Gunner, but I'm not League Gunner. But
no,
can you imagine him? I mean, linked to Arsenal.
Mick says when Casey reports about DCL, I'll believe it. Then, I think we'll get there next season, and then fourth, and then Eddie will go, I reckon, says Tino. By might be our owners telling how we need foreign players. We need foreign players, to be fair. And no from me, says Paul Taylor. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I agree.
Right.
It's about money, and we can't get Guirassy for less than decent. That's the thing. We could have gone out and got Guirassy, who's a hell of a lot cheaper and scores and is more clinical in front of goal. Okay, yes, in that German season, whether he do it in the Premier League is another matter. But, you know, again, you wouldn't know until you give the guy a chance. I don't also believe that Howe is looking to sell Minty before seeing him. It doesn't ring true for a position we are looking to fill, and we might have a golden goose. Well, this is the thing, Jopadoni, but there's a lot of rumours going around that Eddie Howe doesn't want him, which we're going to come on to Minty very soon anyway. Afternoon, everyone.
Tony, I'll cut you a second quickly, right? I mean, it says here on these Newcastle set to beat 2 Premier League clubs to Everton striker DCL. Beat 2 Premier League players, yeah? I don't believe that for a second. I really don't.
I don't. I don't believe BS, that, John.
Talking BS.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Guirassy could be someone in the Euros, might shine. Well, he's not playing in the Euros, unfortunately, because he plays in the African Nations Cup. But, yeah, I see what you mean.
Good player.
He would sell Shaw, or he says we think we'll sell Share. I mean, we'll come on to that as well. Look, right. Now then, another player one player we were in for, and unfortunately he's now decided he's going to somewhere else, and that was Michael Olise. Now, we were there with a £60 million. We were to meet the release clause of Michael Olise, as were Chelsea. People thought he was favourites to go and sign for Chelsea more than anything. But he's opted to go to Bayern Munich and Vincent Kompany. Now, look, okay, fair enough. He's gone off to Bayern Munich. That is too much to turn down. Bayern Munich are a far bigger club than what even we are. Okay? They're one of the biggest giants in European football. They do well in the Champions League. They done well last season. They got the semi-finals of the Champions League. And look, he obviously, as soon as they've come knocking on his door, he's probably thought, hang on, stuff Chelsea, Munich's my next destination. And you know what? I say good luck to the lad, and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in Munich as well. So that, which brings me on now, apparently now that Olise is not coming, we are now focusing on this one, Pedro Neto of Wolves, currently playing for Portugal in the Euros. Right, for me, Pedro Neto. Yes, he's a good right winger. Don't get me wrong. I think he's got it all: the pace, the power. He's got it all. But, and he's 24-year-old. The only thing that concerns me is his injury record. Again, it's another player with a bad injury record. Now, when he played against us last year at Molineux in that 2-2 draw, in that horrible weather, he was ripping us to bits until around about the 68th minute, and then he went down with an injury, and it was a hamstring, which then kept him out for a couple of months. This is what I'm saying. Pedro Neto will cost you an absolute fortune. He will cost you north of 60 million quid. He started 18 out of 20 games last season, so again, that's not what he's not going to play a lot. He scored 2 goals and he got 9 assists. Okay, so he got 9 assists. Yes, we know he's a very good pacey winger. But for me, I wouldn't pay 60 million quid out for this guy. Not to have, if he sits on the treatment table for half a season, you're not getting an investment for your money. As good a player he is, the same Man City sort of looking at him, he'd probably be more perfect going to City, if I'm honest, and I'll tell you why, because then he can be rotated more. We haven't really got that option for rotation. So, for me, Pedro Neto, yes, he's a very good player, very pacey winger, but it's the injury record that concerns me most. And I would say no to him. And I will come on to my next winger soon. But John, what's your thoughts? Pedro Neto.
Yeah, again, I kind of agree with you, T. At the end of the day, look, he is a fantastic winger. Left-footed, plays on the right, left-footed as well, skillful, dance in the box as well. Loves taking on players and so direct as well. Like you said there, Tony, another injury players. We seem to be linked with injured players, are we? With poor injury records, are we? Do you know what I mean? Go and get me Neco Williams, yeah? Go and get me him. Do you know what I mean? I think he's got a 45 million release clause, big time. Do you know what I mean? Go and get him, yeah? Let's stop being ambitious, yeah? But that ain't going to happen soon because of the FFP. And I got something interesting to say about that. But would I take Neto? On wood, if it has to be for his injury record, that is the thing. I know every player's got injuries, yeah? Go and get me Jonathan David. Do you know what I mean? You got water winger, go and get me JD. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Fox is just saying there, apparently he was embarrassing against Argentina last night in Copa America. He missed a sitter.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, right? Jonathan David, I think he scored 15 goals in one season, yeah, but not been scoring that much. But I like the kid. I like him. I think Premier League might stick him to the ground. You can express yourself. I think it'd be, in my opinion, it'd be really good. But back on Pedro Neto, for me, I know people are saying they take him, wouldn't take him. However, I'd take him, but we've got to look at this injury record. We've got to look at this injury record fully for the last couple of years and go from there. But he's a great player when he is fit.
JK says, does anyone know how bad Tonali injury is? Apparently reported that Tonali's injured. Not sure what the injury is, to be honest.
Wish the club would tell us.
But he's not due to be. Now, there's a conflicting report going around about his return date. Now, they said he was coming back the 27th, which meant he could have played in the Carabao Cup on the 29th, but he can't because his ban ends on the 29th. So, and that's actually stated from the Italian FA. So, his potential return date for Newcastle United is against Tottenham Hotspur on the 31st, which that could be probably subject to change for TV reasons. 31st is when we should see Tonali back. Will he start? Possibly start on the bench, I would say. But that's the possible. But about his injury, I wouldn't know about that. Mintier won't go to Everton. If he goes, it will be Roma. Interesting, because the guy who owns Roma is buying 94% of Everton, isn't he? So it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dortmund want Mintier, but he won't go nowhere near Everton. Connor says also issue if we sign DCL and he turns out shit or keeps getting injured, we won't be able to offload him. That's another thing, yeah.
That's
I
the
totally
problem.
agree with you.
If they give the thing is, so if they get him, right, if they give him a 5-year contract, big up Martin, by the way, big up Martin. If we give him a 5-year deal, right, Look at the players who signed off a 5-year deal. We can't get rid of Mutar. That is the thing. So for me, they need to think about this very, very carefully. Don't give them 5-year deals of injury records and stuff. It's like going back to Marvel, De Jong as well. They're on 5-year contracts or 6-year contracts, and we just couldn't get rid of them at all whatsoever. So for me, I'd rather get players without a bad injury record. For me, get them young, and I want to see him play, 30 games in a season, not 15.
Connor says, the other two clubs that's in for Dominic Calvert-Lewin's Leicester and Ipswich, which says it all.
They could have him. They could have him. They could have him.
Yeah. Jason says, I'd take a punt on Mbeumo. Not a bad player. Shaw is at an age where he may be bankable asset, but I'm not sure about selling him as he's at 2 seasons at the top level, so we might get 20 million for him still right now. Yeah, that's a thing. But we are looking at our centre-halves.
I don't think he'll be leaving Newcastle whatsoever. I mean, there's the one you might talk about, Bongiorno.
He says Neto is good, says Key, but he's G-string hamstrings. Absolutely. And Connor even says injury-prone Neto. We'd love to be linked with injury-prone players, says Foxy. We do, Foxy, don't we? I mean, it's just unbelievable, isn't it, really, you know? Nico Williams supposed to be 42 million release clauses from what I've heard, at least he was. Yeah, exactly. Yes, he's on big wages over there, but you can always compensate that. So there's ways around it. You may call me crazy, but I reckon we could go for Anthony discount price, fast techie wingers. Not for me, Tino. No. I don't want anywhere near him.
Tino, I love you, man. I love you. I know you're a young lad, right? And you've got some big names, yeah. But I wouldn't have you as my manager coming to me as a chairman giving these names. No way. But you can only say something like,
Nicola, hi Nicola, says DCL is an insult. He's a fat cockney signing. Neto is never fit, won't track back. Ogbeni is a much better player, would cost much less. Chiesa would only cost 40 million. Williams 45 million. Do you know what, Nicola? Absolutely spot on with that, Nicola. And
fantastic comment, Nicola. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Big up, Nicola. Thanks very much indeed. That is a sensible message there.
Neto gets injured every time he comes up against Dan Burns, so we couldn't have them in training together, says Foxy. Yes, says he take Neto. We can't afford Nico Williams. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United all want him. Even if we went in for him, he ain't coming to us. Tony and John, big up, lads, says Neil. Big up to you, Neil.
Now,
if we did sign DCL, do you think Eddie would make him a better player, or just like he's done with Joe Linton? So the thing is, I don't really know, but I just don't want DCL anywhere near the club, I'm afraid. Let Leicester take him, or,
Ipswich.
Hi, Rolly. He says DCL
yes,
isn't coming to start where we are now. You're not going to get a top quality striker to sit behind Isak. Well, yeah, but you could still get a striker to come in, and you could still get a decent young striker as well. And if you keep Wilson there, then he can learn from Wilson and Isak. I'd take a loan, not a transfer. Yeah, I'd prefer Anthony Hopkins. If you're old enough, you're good enough. So, yeah, right. So this brings me on to my next player. Look, so I've said, I've said no to Pedro Neto, but I wouldn't say no to this guy who's being continually linked with us. By the way, there is a VAR check at the moment for a potential penalty. And I think it's a penalty. I think it's for Georgia. The referee is now going to the monitor. So before we go into that, I'll just go through this, and we'll, if anybody's not watching it. So the referee is now approaching the VAR monitor to have a look at this for, I think, a handball. But to me, it looked a little high, but I'm trying to work out where it is now. It's off one of the Czech players. Oh, no, to me, that's definitely a handball. That's a quick decision penalty. Yeah, absolutely. He had his arm stuck right out. Correct decision. Hranic with the handball, and rightly so. The referee took a quick 10-second look at the monitor and decided straight away, that's it, it's a penalty. Do you know what? VAR on this Euros has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, I know they're saying Belgium were probably robbed the other night. There was probably a push on Openda when he done the handball. But at the end of the day, it was given as handball. Souček's not happy that the penalty's been awarded, but it's a clear handball, unfortunately. So it has to be given. So we're just waiting to see if Georgia can convert this penalty when they eventually get to it. Got to remember, in Georgia, their national sport is rugby, not football. So this is their first time at the Euros. So they've got a great chance of going ahead now. And, you know, just right on half time as well. 2 minutes of injury time added on. So be interesting to see if Georgia score this penalty. Keeper's being told to keep back on his lane by the referee. And now he's ready to step up and take this penalty. Well, he's not now because the referee wants a word with somebody else now to keep out the area. Because if you remember, Croatia had a goal ruled out for encroachment, didn't they, last week? So this injury time's running on, but now the referee's ready. And just waiting for the Georgian player to get the go-ahead and step up. And he hits it now. And he scores, sends the keeper the wrong way. 1-0 Georgia.
Brilliant.
Good penalty. Right, so getting back to the transfer show, the player that I'm looking at next, I think would be a great weapon for Newcastle United, and he's having a great Euros. There he is, Federico Chiesa. Now, we've been linked with him many times. Yes, we know he's injury prone, but apparently he said in a recent interview that he's put a lot of this behind him now, and he thinks he's playing better. For me, Federico Chiesa would be a great signing. Cheaper signing than Neto. You'd probably get him for about 40 million. Again, he's in the last year of his contract. You know, we know he can play left wing, right wing, striker. So you can play across the front three. He's got no weaknesses. Playmaking's his strengths. Obviously, he's had a good start in the Euros for Italy as well. He's played really, really well. He looks back to his best. He's 26 years of age. Last season, he started 25 out of 33 games. He scored 9 goals and he got 2 assists. So obviously not the best scoring record, but again, he's quality. And also, people are saying he's actually good friends with Tonali as well. Now, if bringing Chiesa in would be a nice move to keep, well, not obviously to keep Tonali at the club, but, you know, just give Tonali that little bit extra company with another Italian in the club. But not just on that basis of sentiment, on the basis that I think this guy's a great footballer. I think he's a cracking winger. And we've seen what he's like in the Euros. For me, it's a no-brainer. If you can get him between 30 and 40 million, I'd rather take him than Pedro Neto. Then, if you get this guy, even if you go for 30 million quid, that's half the price of Pedro Neto, then you've then still got money in the bank to go out and get and strengthen in our positions. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, look, I thought that makes business sense as well. We get Chiesa between 30 and 40 million quid. He's got 1 year left on his contract, by the way. So Juventus will be a very, very difficult people to deal with when it comes to transfers and that. They want the maximum. And I like him. I've always liked Chiesa 110% because that guy is a brilliant winger, yeah? But again, he's injury prone. But I can see Foxy's comment there saying 67 minutes a game, Chiesa, no for me. But you know what? I mean, he has some couple of bad games, but on his day, it could be a world beater on times. It can be a bit of a leg beater at times. But last season, I mean, he did okay. Like you said, 9 goals last season. And do you know what? Out of the 3, I'll take a punt on this guy. I'd rather take him, right, over Neto, because I think Chiesa's come back to his best. He will get back to his best. I believe that. And you really have to understand he's just come off a long injury as well. So once he gets back up to speed, he'll be spot on. So Neto or Chiesa, I take Chiesa. Neto, I like him, but his injury record is not great. But Chiesa's just international quality. So is Neto, of course, but Chiesa is one thing.
Yeah. Fabrizio's put out Here We Go. Elise to buy in 45 million fixed and 5 million add-ons.
They got a good signing there. Olise is going to do fantastic at Bayern Munich. This is the thing, right? This is why clubs here do not want to spend 60 million quid on a player, because they are so scared about FFP, and they're also scared of losing the points with PSR. I say it now. Elise, we just lost Elise lost him in the Premier League. And I tell you now, there'll be European clubs like Madrid, Dortmund, Barca, PSG, Juve, or even the bigger European clubs going to come around and be thinking, you know what it is, right? We realise these clubs ain't going to spend big anymore. Let's take advantage of them. Let's take advantage of younger players, yeah? Because I tell you what, if players like Essie or even Botman or even Isak or ever their best players leaves the Premier League to go abroad, then the Premier League product is done, because they bought this PSR thing, which is absolutely shocking. That's why they're not spending big. And I think the Premier League used to be up here, 20, and it's just starting slowly come on downhill, because they cannot spend big anymore. But European clubs can. That is the thing.
Absolutely.
We've got a problem. The Premier League's got a big, big problem.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Peter McCardle says we've missed out big time on Mamardashvili.
This is the thing, right? He's a quality keeper. He's a quality keeper. He's a quality keeper. So we've gone again. We have gone down from spending 40 mil on this guy, or 35 mil plus the add-ons for Mamardashvili, down to James Trafford. And only last week, there's been rumours it's Begovic on a fee. On a fee. Just gone from the top to bottom again. What's going on, man?
Connor says rumours are coming out now that Luke Shaw's withdrawn from the England squad due to injury. Well, Southgate's got that massively wrong. He should have took Lewis Hall, I'm sorry. Or some people are saying Chilwell should have gone.
Thing is, like, he gets injured a lot, doesn't he? But you know what it is, right? I don't want to talk about age, right? I mean, Lewis Hall, right, had a fantastic season last season when he came on. You know what it is? Age, and I tell you now, age is irrelevant to me, right? I'll go by the name, and if they're good enough, doesn't matter how old you are. Look at Gula, right? Scored like wonder goal, yeah? Guy's 19. Then again, I should mention his age. I'll judge it by the player and his name. That guy scored a wonder goal, yeah? I said it before. If you're old enough, you're good enough, yeah? If Lewis Hall had a fantastic season, right? Pick him. Pick a fella on Euros, yeah? But Gareth Southgate won't, because he picks his favourites for the big, big clubs. That is it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go back to that last comment, Tony, about Isak Bantino. I like him, right? I've got an answer for him.
How is 63 million for Isak not a lot of money?
That's because FFP PSR didn't come into play, mate. Now PSR's coming to play. We can't spend that money. That is the thing. And some clubs now will not be spending that money in the Premier League because of the points. So I bet you other clubs will come in and say, yo, do you know what? We'll take this player because it doesn't affect us.
I agree, John. I agree. Tino says, I prefer the one from Villarreal that we looked at a couple of weeks ago. What is that, a goalkeeper or a right winger?
That's a goalkeeper.
Oh, is that Jorgensen?
Jorgensen.
At least he didn't want to compete with our Paraguayan workhorse. He should have took Mitchell from Palace. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he was in my squad.
Another great left back.
Yeah.
But if he played for United or City or Arsenal, he'd be on the plane. He'll be on the plane. That is the thing. And it's disrespectful for the lesser clubs as well.
I mean, look, the Trafford thing's gone quiet now. Apparently, it's over the fee now. We can't agree the fee because obviously Man City's got this sell on clause and all this, and so we're not sure what's happening with the Trafford situation. Again, that might all go belly up. So again, we'll just have to we'll just have to wait and see on that one, see what happens. But it really is a bit of a strange one, John, isn't it? That Trafford's just gone quiet all of a sudden, and there's nothing more being said about it.
Well, it goes to show they got the money, and I think they probably realise as well that Man City wants a percentage as well because they sold him to Burnley with the add-ons as well, like a buyback as well. So if they sell him, then they're entitled to something like 20% of the transfer. That's why Burnley's asking for more money. So to me, I'm not going to lose any sleep over James Trafford. To be fair, mate, do you know what I mean? Yes, he's got potential. I get that, but I'll back the guy if he comes. But at the end of the day, Mamardashvili will be the one for me, mate. If we want to win trophies, if we want to take that next level, then we have got to get keepers like him. And going back to Anzo Tino again, he's got a question as well. How come, if I lost this, how come, if that's the case, why spend 54 on Tonali and 40 on Liverenda? That's because FFP PSA did not come into play.
Yeah, absolutely, John.
Okay.
Right. We're going to change tact now from a right winger. We're now going back to centre half because another centre half we've been linked with today. And apologies if I don't get his name correct. John will probably pull me up on it and get it correct anyway. Here he is, Alessandro Buongiorno. Buongiorno. So he's 25 years of age. He plays for Torino, contracted till 2028. 6'3". Position and tackling are his strengths, no weaknesses. Now he's a left-footed centre-back, defensive, and he can also play left-back as well. So a bit like Lloyd Kelly. So same as Botman as well. Botman's out injured, as we know. Last season, he started 29 out of 29 games. He scored 3 goals and didn't provide any assists. But the key attributes are his defending. He was involved in a team that kept 14 clean sheets. His balls recovery per game is 4.4. He had no errors that led to a shot, no errors that led to a goal, although he did give 1 penalty away as well, and he makes 4.5 clearances per game as well. So the lad has got talent, and he got 7 yellow cards last year. So, his disciplinary record isn't too bad. So at least if he does hit 5, he only has a 1 match ban, and that's all he's going to get all season. He's probably another Bruno that doesn't want to get the 10 cards. John, Buongiorno, your thoughts on this guy? You watch a lot of Italian football.
Yeah.
Would he be a good signing for us? Do we need him as we have got Lloyd Kelly?
First off, if I said Italian, grande vittuale e ma difendere e talento. That means great defender, loves to defend, talented. So that is Italian there for you guys to learn. As for Buongiorno, right, we play a back 4. Torino plays with a back 3, and he plays the left side of the 3. I like him. He's a good defender. He loves to mark closely, and a little bit of pace to him as well. And he reads the game as well. But he loves to tackle, loves to defend. And for me, I have no problems getting this guy. He's a talent international, playing in the European USSC. You can see his talent there as well. And I think he's a fantastic defender. Great season for mid-table side for Torino. And I have no problems getting this guy. However, we play a back 4. Torino plays a back 3. Can he play in a back 4?
Well, who knows? Who knows, John? That's the thing.
And we do need a defender, I feel. We do need another centre-back. I really do. Even though we've got Lloyd Kelly through the door. I'd see it that. And we've got Fabian Schär. He does get injured a lot. Dan Burn, he can play 38 games, Jamal Lascelles and Sam Bottom's out. So we could do another defender. If we get one more defender, they would be stocked. We'll be stocked. It defends us. So,
but not only are we linked with him, John, but we're also linked with another Italian defender who's only on. Now, listen to this, guys. The wages this guy is on a week is a pittance, and I mean a pittance. He is on €14,000 per week. Yes, that's 14,014 per week. So not a lot of money. So wages for Newcastle United would not be an issue to pay this guy. The only problem is there is a lot of people out there looking at him. But I'll put him on screen now. His name is Riccardo Calafiori, who plays for Bologna, who finished 5th last season in Serie A. Even had a better defensive record than AC Milan. But look, Calafiori, 22 years of age. Looking at his hairstyle there reminds you a little bit of somebody who used to play for us called Mr. Colaccini. Look, he looks a cracking prospect. He can play left back and centre back. Yes, we know he's left footed yet again. But look, yes, he had that error the other night against Spain. But, you know, that can happen to any player, let's be honest. He started 26 out of 30 games last season. He was Team of the Week 5 times, so it just shows you how well he's been. Scored 2 goals. He got 5 assists. 5 assists as a defender. He's defending. He was involved in 10 clean sheets, so 4 less than Buongiorno. Ball recoveries per game is very, very impressive. 6.5 per game, so very impressive. He had 3 errors that led to a shot. He gave 2 penalties away, but he didn't have an error that led to a goal. And his disciplinary record is very, very good because he only had 4 yellow cards all season. We know there's a lot of clubs looking at Calafiori. I, for one, wouldn't be against this signing. 22, a young centre-back. But again, you know, as I say, it's left-footed. We want a right-footed centre-back. Someone in the shape of maybe a Diamande or a Giancarlo Ignazio, who can play anywhere across the back four. Can play right back, centre back, and left back. John, Calafiori, would you like him at Newcastle United, John?
100%, Tony, 100%. This guy looks the real deal. Plays for Bologna, was just qualified for the Champions League, and he's one of their best players in the team. And Thiago Motta was the coach there, but he's moved on to Juventus on a 3-year deal. And you know what I like about him? He's quick and powerful, and his ball carrying for the back is fantastic, and he can take shots as well. And he can also play left back as well. He's a left-footed player, as everyone knows. For me, in my opinion, I think he's one of the best Italian defenders, talented defenders in the Italian game. And I tell you what, this guy's young. This guy is destined to go to the very, very top as well. I mean, Calafiori and Bastoni at the back are the future. Let's be real. And then it cost £4 million from Basel as well. For me, I'd take this guy 110% because he is a fantastic defender, 6'2", quick, and like you said, other clubs will be after this guy as well. If he's going to move for Bologna, I truly believe he's going to stay in Italy, and I think he's signed for a club like Juventus because he's only 22. He used to work for Thiago Motta. I can't see him in England personally, but I think he's staying in Italy. He'll go to Juventus. But for me, if it's available, get this guy in, please, because I'll tell you something now, right? I'll be happy getting him, get rid of the sales, even get rid of Dan Burn for that matter as well. I tell you what, Tony, if it's available, we should be all over this guy. But I just can't see it because, again, FFP is killing us.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, girls, I've got 31 watching, so if you want to smash that like, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. And if you are new to the channel, do it that subscribe as well and help get me towards 1,200. Tino says, I get we needed to improve, but £54 million for Tonali is a bit of an unneeded transfer. There are other options that would have been miles cheaper and avoid us being in this situation. Look, the thing is, at the end of the day, this was under Ashworth. Obviously, the fact that Tonali come up so cheap obviously was a deal that we couldn't turn down. Now, I've said previously, not long after the ownership came in, Tonali would be one player I'd love to see through the door. And I never thought in a million years it would happen because I think he's a terrific player. On his day, he's a world beater. And he is a great player. Now we know why he was sold to us after the betting scandal and everything. And supposedly Milan want him back in a swap deal for Tomori. Well, that's not happening, Milan. It's not happening. So, for me, I think when Tonali comes back, not only does he owe the fans, he owes the club, he owes the staff, who have all supported him and stood behind him and stuck by him, Club could have so easily cast him aside and said, off you go, we don't want you here. But they didn't. They put an arm around him and they've supported him, as any club should do. Unless you're called Ratface. And yes, Ratface, by the way, is Ratcliffe. Now, he's another bellend that thinks he can just come in the Premier League, and because he's a part owner of Man United, thinks that Man United are entitled to anybody, whoever they want to get in the Premier League. Well, it doesn't work like that, Ratface, because I'll tell you why. And Ratface putting out an interview to sit there and saying Newcastle are being difficult and awkward. No, we are not being difficult and awkward. And he's never heard of gardening leave before. But the man's a businessman. He's never heard of gardening leave. What a load of crap that man really speaks. Does he actually think before he opens that big mouth of his what he's actually going to say? Does he actually put his brain into gear? Has he actually got a brain? Because I don't think he has. And I'll tell you now, Ratface, Dan Ashworth, you can have him for 10 or 15 million quid or whatever we want for him. But there is no way you're getting him for 3 million or whatever. So that is a stupid thing to come out with. And also to say that Southampton were reasonable when negotiating with him for Jason Wilcox. Well, I tell you what, that's fine. We'll come and negotiate with Newcastle United and see what we can do. But don't forget, Ratface, Man U tried to screw us over with Lingard for a £10 million loan deal. So if we survived, that they would get that as a bonus. So we don't forget things, Ratface. So at the end of the day, pay the money, pay up, or just shut up and go elsewhere and jog on, because we don't need people like you in the Premier League. You're just too much of somebody who used to own our football club. That's who you remind me of, Ratface. That's who you remind me of. And when you go to Everton and putting cheeky bids in like 35 million for Branthwaite when he's worth double that, and then you won't go back and pay that money, that just shows you, have you really got much money? Because I doubt you very much have. Quickly, John, I mean, what did you think about Ratface yesterday, about that comments he made about us? He really does hate Newcastle United with a passion, doesn't he?
Sounds like it, Tony. It sounds like it. But this guy is an absolute, what's I'm looking for? An absolute whopper. He really, really is, man. This guy thinks he can come in and bully.
He's a bellend, John. That's what he is.
Fat. Absolutely fat, Tony. He is. The fact of the matter is, right, I'm not going to lie, but, if he thinks he can walk over us, he's got another thing coming. Like I said, he mentioned it before, Tony. We're like an elephant in a room or a dinosaur in a room, yeah? You mess us about, we're going to come back fighting. We're going to come back fighting. Because I tell you something now, right? We are not soft anymore. We're no longer a soft touch. We're no longer weak. We're no longer pushovers, You give us some money, you can have the guy. But if not, you're going to have to suffer. Then you're going to have to stay out of the game until... Big up Daniel, by the way. He's going to come out until next year. Simple as that. So you can suffer as much as you want. You know what? At the end of the day, right? He doesn't stay at clubs so long at all. That's another thing, yeah? So well-warned United fans about that as well. He doesn't stay for club for long, yeah? That club is an absolute... I'm sorry, but it's just a mess in a minute. But one thing I'm going to say, right? Ten Hag, right? I think he's been badly treated at that football club, yeah? Talking to other clubs behind his back, right? And then come back to him and say, look, you can stay. We're going to let you stay. After talking to Tuchel, Poch, and other managers behind his back, potential managers there, I tell you what, Graham Sims come out and said, had that been him, he should have walked. He should have walked, because that is undermining a manager, I'm telling you. But it's not my club. It's not our club. I'm just saying. And I'll tell you one thing as well. They will not win a title for the next 5 or 6 years. the way things are in a minute. Do you know what I mean? We'll win the title before they will.
Yeah. I mean, Daniela, no, we're not happy with Calvert-Lewin. I mean, look, I don't want him coming through the door, to be honest with you. Leicester and Ipswich want him. Let him go there. I hope they get him ahead of us. I really do.
I do as well.
That's the reason I believe players like DCL and Lloyd Kelly are being targeted. Davey says, Chap says no DOF at the moment, so Eddie will say underrated English players and doubt anyone will work with him. That's the thing, Davey. We need a DOF. We desperately want one. We don't know what's going on here. I mean, look, Johannes Spurs was supposed to be on the hot list to come in. That hasn't happened. Apparently, according to media, that we made a last-minute attempt to get Thiago Pinto before we went to Bournemouth. I don't know what's happening with the DOF, John. It really is baffling what's going on now.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, the moment Ash was going to leave, you should have made contingency plans. You should have gone out there. And I'm not going to lie, right? But that should have been done and dusted. Go out there, identify your target, go and talk to him, right? And get him in. I mean, even Maldini's gone quiet, yeah? And let's be real, right? I mean, we need a DOF. We need a sporting director at the football club before it's too late. Villa's got one, yeah? West Ham's got one, yeah? Bournemouth's got one. Why haven't we got one? Why? It is disgraceful, man. I mean, go out there and get a sporting director or a director of football. But probably Eddie Howe doesn't want it. That's the thing. And I'm sure Eddie Howe has something to do with it, man. But whoever comes in, a director of football, right? It's going to be very interesting. But we need one in. Because I tell you what, in a minute, Eddie wants British players. That's what he wants, yeah? So he's going to control the thing. But you have to understand, he is the head coach, not manager, yeah? So there's got to be someone above Eddie to get the players in. But going back quickly, Bruno, Isak, right? Tonali, right? Quality players, a reasonable price. And here we are. We've gone backwards now and got Lloyd Kelly. No disrespect. I hope he does well. I'm going to support the guy. It's that bit of a come down, though. It's that really bit of a come down from going for Bruno, Isak, Trippier, you can call them there as you want, and Tonali, and then to go back to bang average English players. I'm sure Lloyd would be fine. Don't make sense, doesn't it? I mean,
it doesn't. It doesn't, does it? I mean, look, we've got another 8 days to wait before Bruno's release clause ends. So far, touch wood, nobody's touched it yet. There is reports that Arsenal, when it's over with, wants to come in with a player plus cash offer for Bruno. But apparently Bruno has already said he's not interested in going to Arsenal. So if that's the case, then it doesn't matter what the offer. But we don't want Arsenal's cast-offs.
Yeah, well, we don't want
Tony. In a cash deal as well.
Well, Thomas Partey is naming that list as well. I wouldn't know where I have Eketana. Not Ketia, Eketana. I wouldn't have him. No way. Smith Rowe, not for me. I'm not being funny. I know injured player as well. He's been out for the game for quite a while. Yeah, no thanks. Sorry, Jez. If you're watching, mate, I respect you, but I wouldn't have him. I'm sorry. But Thomas Partey, another injured player as well, on a fee. It's crazy, isn't it? No chance. We should be going for titles. We should be fighting for trophies, yeah? To do that, we have to have our best players at the club.
Davey says, plus Eddie's another Southgate. He'll be gone next season. And for all the do-gooders, don't mention next season when it's a write-off and there is a mass exodus of top players. Strong words, Davey, but you're absolutely spot on, mate.
They need the thing is, though, if Eddie does score, right, then for me, they need a quality player. He's a Mancini, yeah? For me, the manager will go out, I'll go all out. I know they still going to speak a little bit of English. Simeone, right? That's going to be difficult now. I realise that. Simone Inzaghi, Michel Sanchez and Girona, right? He'll probably have one more year at Girona. And then if he's available, go and get this guy in. Because I'll tell you what, he plays open attacking football and he's not scared or frightened to drop the big names.
Yeah. Tino says we are kind of being difficult and awkward. If I get we want money for Ashworth, but £15 million for a DOF is a joke. We do need to compromise, and in my opinion, him to Ashworth for about 7 million. Let us get to Debo for less. Right, hang on. Let me break this down to you, Tino. Right, it's not unreasonable. Ashworth has got 18 months left on his contract. Ashworth has done the dirty on us. Let's be honest. This man is scum. This man is a disgrace. He's a snake. It come out when he sent emails to his own Newcastle United account when he was being tapped up, you know. Look, the thing is, if they want Ashworth, they can have him but for 15 million. It's not unreasonable. As I say, he's got 18 months left on his contract, so it's not unreasonable what Newcastle are asking for. We are not being difficult. We are not being awkward. We are just asking for the money we want for him. Now, for us to get to Debo, there is no way Jean-Claire Todibo is coming to Newcastle United. There is no chance of him coming here. So I wouldn't even... Look, as much as I would like him at Newcastle, we won't get him. There is one reason that is stopping him coming to Newcastle, and that is Ratface, because Ratface owns Nice, and there is no way Ratface is selling to us. I can tell you that now. I'd be very surprised if we got to Debo. You know? I mean, if we got to Debo, would I go and show me Arsene Phoenix window? Probably not. But, you know, the thing is, right, what I'm trying to say is I can't see Todibo coming into the club because I can't see Ratface selling him. Can you, John?
I take him, but I can't see it happening at all whatsoever because Ratcliffe will not do business with Newcastle United. I don't think he will. Not after this. Not after this Ashworth fiasco. I'm sorry, but that's not our fault. They want him, pay for it. They spent £1.6 billion on players, yeah? 70 mil.
Do you think we're being awkward and difficult, John?
Not
or do you think we're being serious or being right because he's got 18 months left?
We got every single right. The guy's on the contract, number one. So we got control and power, yeah, to dictate where he goes, right? And secondly, if you want the guy, you pay the money. Simple as that. Don't pay 70 mil on a Casemiro or Varane, right, for 40 mil. All right, that's 110 million spent on those two. Real Madrid pulled their pants down. They got them pulling their pants down for those two. Do you know what I mean? Let's be real, yeah? And now they're mourning they can't pay 20 mil, but happy to pay 85 mil for Anthony. Get in the bin, man. Get out, man. Pay the money, walk away. Simple as that.
Foxy says you got 10 Hag posters on your wall, John.
The last time I look. Have I got 10 Hag posters on my wall? The last time I look. The answer is no. So I'm not guilty, Foxy.
Lee says a massive note to DCL for me, just seen on Everton channel, and they are very worried that he's going to leave. Why? He's terrible. Oh my God, let them. I hope he stays at Everton. And do you know what I'll do? I would say, I'll tell you what, if you want to send DCL over, we'll give you Mickey then.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think that's a fair deal. I mean, Everton needs to do better than they did last year.
JK says, do you think Miggy will leave us and do you think he'll be sold in the summer? Well, the thing is, it's 1-1 now with Czechia. They've replied now with the equaliser. I think it's Patrick Schick that scored. Look, Miggy, there's nothing more being said about any more bids coming from. He says he doesn't want to go. But look, let's hope the Saudis come in with a bid and they can take him. As long as we got the replacement, he can go. And what does Bruno, Big Joe, Isak Botman think of us saying the likes of DCL when we need quality? Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
He's right. Jules is right, man. He is so right. Brilliant comment there, yeah. Jules. Brilliant. You know what? They play with world-class players, yeah, in Europe. Like, you got Bruno, right? Bruno or Big Joe plays alongside Vinny Jr., yeah? They don't want to play alongside flipping CCL, don't they? Big up to Jules, right? Drew Gooner, by the way. He's a big Gooner, man.
Yeah.
And you know what, Eddie? And we got, anyway, Jules, we already got Eddie anyway. We've got Eddie Howe, mate.
Yeah, he wants you to take the egg cut, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. He wants Bruno. He wants Eddie in the deal.
The figures are in the contract. They will know when they tapped him up. Also, he spoke to Wolves whilst on garden leave, breaking the terms of his contract again. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The guy's a disgrace. He's an absolute disgrace. Brighton fans told me exactly what he was like. We can demand what we want because he's our employee, and Man U deserve it. They wanted 12 million for us loaning Lingard for 6 months. Calm as a biatch. Absolutely, trolls. Well said.
But
What goes around comes around. That's what karma is.
bosh.
John has no room for tea. He's got the Radcliffe posters. Davey says, you bang on Tony about Cashworth. Hope they just let him rot, and good on the owners if they don't cave in. Absolutely, Davey. Absolutely, mate. Adam Hosiek is up for sale from Leverkusen. I'll take him in a heartbeat.
He still just joined them last season.
Arsenal can keep their rejects. Foxy says Miggy might not start for Paraguay and Copa America. Manchester had a shocker in the warm-up games. Can't figure out his best team, and Ciso and Miggy not getting on. Wow.
Don't look good. What does that
That's
tell
not
you?
looking good. That's not looking good at all.
You know
Right, okay.
So what it is, Tony? They might
Yeah.
even blame Newcastle for that because they've not been picking them enough. So they probably blaming them. Oh well.
Yeah. I mean, was it the game last season or the season? No, I think it was the season before, wasn't it? Where when we played, I think it was when we beat Brighton 4-1 at St James's Park. And I think Miggy and Ciso had a bit of a to do then, didn't they? So
yeah, I think they did.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So finally, we're going on to this player, and this is our player, by the way. Yes, he belongs to Newcastle United. Well, at this moment in time, for how much longer we do not know. And it's the mystery one. It's a strange one, but here he is. It's Yankubo Minty. Look, there he is in his final strip last season after scoring one of his many goals he scored for them last season. Look, 19 years of age. Look, we signed him from a Dents, and for €7 million, so probably about £5 million. He scored 10 goals and got 5 assists last season. In the Eredivisie, he had a cracking time in the Eredivisie. He played really well. Yes, he had a few games where he wasn't so great, but on his slot, spoke to him and he put him right. And the lad, to be fair, played really, really well. Now, I'm going to be very upset if we do not see this lad in a Newcastle shirt. I'm going to be. Let's just say if we're serious about selling this guy for anything north of 40 million quid, then I want to know what the hell is going on at Newcastle United. Because one thing I want to know is, where's the ambition of this club? What is the ambition of this club? When it's all right, Amanda Staveley saying after when the takeover happened, in the next 5 to 10 years, we want to be up there winning the Premier League, winning trophies, winning the Champions League, whatever. Well, look, if we're going to bring in bang average players like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but then sell our great prospects like Minty, who could have come into the Premier League next season and set the Premier League alight, and probably might save us an absolute fortune in the right wing department, if I'm honest. Reports saying Eddie Howe doesn't want him. That's not good enough, in my opinion, because, we haven't seen the lad play yet. We want to see him in a black and white shirt. I want to see him play in the pre-season and see how he does. Okay, fair enough. If he doesn't do it in pre-season, then okay, you might say, okay, we'll move him on. Look, there's a lot of clubs looking at him. Roma, again, and Everton, both going to be linked together because they're going to have the same ownership. For me, I'm just absolutely gobsmacked that this is even being talked about, Minty. I want to see this lad flourish. And I think this lad would be a cracking player. But if we are selling him, do not sell him to another team in the Premier League. Because that lad may come back and rip us to bits. And, we've seen it many a times where we sold players and have come back and haunted us, The worst ever thing we ever did, and that's where the loan thing changed as well, where you can't play against your parent club, was when we had Bobby Robson as manager, when Lamana Luar went to Portsmouth, scored a last-minute equaliser against us while on loan at Portsmouth and celebrated like Portsmouth had just won the league. And Robson wasn't happy about that. But there again, at the time, them rules were not in place where you couldn't play against your parent club. So for me, I mean, if you're going to send Minty out, I'd send him on loan again, not to send. But I want to see him flourish at Newcastle. And I'm very disappointed if we sell him. I'll be extremely disappointed, in fact. And that's where I'm going to start. If that does happen, I'm going to start questioning where's the ambition of this club and what is the ambition. What about you, John?
Yeah. Well, it's coming to that point, really, because you start a player like Minty for the future, yeah, potential and stuff, yeah. He goes on to Feyenoord, scored what, 11 goals in that season for Feyenoord on the slot. He's been fantastic. Now he's come back, he's played in Europe, like we know all that. He's played for a good side, plays attacking football, and we have got to see this lad in a pre-season in Japan. We have to. But it would be a massive mistake if we do sell him, whether it be Roma, Dortmund, or Everton. Yeah. But I tell you what, yes, he's got a lot of work. I get that. Yes, he's got a long way to go. I get that. But he could do it here. The guy's 19. Otherwise, what is the point of signing a player without kicking the ball for us? It doesn't make sense. I mean, Garang Cole's another problem. Yeah. 2 loan moves. Hasn't quite worked out. Yeah. On verge going for another loan move. It's going to be a big season for him, by the way. Mm-hmm. But I feel sorry for Minty if it's going to be like that. Do you know what I mean? I hope he stays. But one thing I will say, why don't the club come out and say anything, Tony? Why don't the club come out and tell us and stop the whole thing and say, look, he's going absolutely nowhere. Yeah, he stays with us. Yeah, or get Eddie to come out and tell us. Yeah, because social media is just making up and make it up and make it up yet again. Yeah, it winds us up, man. We've got to keep Minty. Yeah, otherwise you're going to go in the season with Miggy playing starting next season. And last season, I'm sorry, Foxy, all right, but I want to win trophies or fighting for titles. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we need someone's going to come in and make a difference. Miggy had 5 seasons there, yeah? 1 good season out of that. 1 good season, yeah? Jacob Murphy, don't mind him, but I was a squad player, yeah? Minty, give him a chance. Let him come in, does a bit for Japan, right? It could be, what's the one I'm looking for? Like a shining light, a secret weapon.
Yeah.
He can come in and make a huge difference for us, yeah? Because he can go to another club like Dortmund. If he goes to Dortmund, he will flourish. I'm telling you, he will flourish. And he will make a big difference there as well, yeah? And Tony, I tell you what again, right? We do need more quality. Let's go out in Europe and get quality, yeah? Let's go for it. Get me Mardashvili, the goalkeeper, first start. Let's see ambition. Let's say, right, you know what? We didn't quite for Europe. We're going to spend a bit of money and give it a right go and go for top 4 place or win a trophy. Trophy first, Tony, and then see if we can get tougher after that. Be ambitious.
BF Aiken says, selling Minty with a buyback clause would be a good business. He's one-footed, paced merchant, barely passes, unproven in the Premier League, doesn't defend, needs lots of development. 40 million is good business. I mean, look.
He's done at final, though,
He's
done at final. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. He's done it, yeah.
The thing is, right, you know, he's got 1 season experience in finals playing on the slot, and on the slot is not an idiot. He's a fantastic young manager, yeah. He sees things early, so you must say some nice things about him, yeah. But if you do it at finals, right, do it to Newcastle, give the kid a chance. And I know people say, get rid. No, keep him. You got to give him a chance, man.
I think sometimes, John, we're too quick at getting rid of players before we've given them a chance.
Look at Bobby Clark. We sold him to Liverpool. Look at his turn out to be. It's been fantastic. It's been fantastic for them. Yeah? Let's be real. We've got rid of a couple of good players, young players, who's made a difference, yeah? And do really well. Yeah? That's the problem. Give the kids a chance. Yeah? Show us something different. Show us something different. That's what I'm asking for, man.
I would rather we keep Minty and get rid of Howe.
Jules, I know. I see what you mean, but I mean,
Troll
I'll keep
says it's
Eddie.
people say if Howard's good or not enough, in my opinion. Foxy says, I don't mind selling Minty for the right price, but then when I see the recent links to injury-prone players, I'd rather us take a chance on Minty. Absolutely.
This is the problem, Minty. That's a I Minty there. Sorry, that's a brilliant comment, Foxy. I called Minty there, didn't I?
Selling Minty gives us a huge FFP boost to buy proven players, says Beer.
Yeah.
We won't get 40 million for Minty, though.
No, and I'll tell you something else as well. One thing I will say, right, there's other players I get rid of before Minty.
Mm-hmm. Connor says if Minty leaves, we need a buyback clause with a 30 or 40% sell-on clause. Absolutely. If we sell Minty, we need to insert a rock-solid buyback clause, says Key, definitely. Rowley says, I don't want to sell Minty, but if we sell him for 40 million and bring in 2 marquee signings instead, that would one of you be, would you be against that? Look, I mean, if you're on about getting rid of Minty for 40 million, if a Saudi club comes in and pays 25 million for Almiron and you sell Longstaff to Leicester for 15 million, there's 40 million there. So you can go and get your 2 marquee signings. But you still got Minty as well in the background. So, look, there's other ways we can get rid of players, but I see where you come from, Rolly. I wouldn't be against it totally, but there would have to be really good players that come into the club. Troll says, well, Bobby Clark was sold by the Fat Cockney. Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Eredivisie is a 3-horse race, says Bia, and Ajax have been really poor. Farmers League.
Fair enough.
Almiron was our top goal scorer in 2019-20 for us when we were an awful team. So show a little bit more respect for him, says Foxy.
Foxy, I show respect for him, yeah. I'll show for him, yeah. But that was then, my gang. That was back then, yeah. I'll keep it happy now, Foxy. Because these 4 last, and we scored 12 goals. He was fantastic, yeah. He was fantastic. But last season, it's gone back to the old Miggy. I've got to speak the truth, man. But ask Foxy a question as well. Do you want to win a trophy? I love Foxy. He speaks sense, but do you want to win? Do you want to win a trophy? It's Miggy going to get us a trophy.
Troll says, How doesn't use youth players unless he has to, and that's a bit of a red flag. We have some that can be good if they get game time. Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that, Trolls. And Foxy says, Rowley wants us to sell Minty and buy from the Belgian league. What a place, what a country. Absolutely, Foxy.
Wow.
I mean, look, you know, there's some good players in that Belgian league, that's for sure.
They have. That Danish lad who came on to sub, plays for Bush, got 26 goals in that season. I don't know his name, but he scored 26 goals.
Bia says, Miggy more combined goals and assists than Murphy. Yeah, but I think Miggy's time's up at the club now. I really do.
There's even
guys.
Sorry. There's even reports saying that they tried to hopefully try to get rid of Miggy by the end of June to avoid FFP.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, guys and girls, we are coming to the end of the show now. It's been a cracking show. We knew it would be a spicy one, especially with the DCL rumours. Let's hope he's not coming in. Not only with the DCL rumours, but also with the fact that Minty could be sold as well. And why we would even sell him to someone like Everton is beyond me, which I find crazy. But anyway, before we go, John, do you want to let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up as well?
Thank you very much for having us on, Tony, mate. And
no problem.
It's been a bit spicy today. Well, I don't really like this, but it's just goes to show. Well, I want to be ambitious, right? I want to win things. Yeah, we want the best for Newcastle United. You know what I mean? But for me, selling Minty doesn't make much sense to me. Do you know what I mean? I get that, but there's other players I get rid of before Minty. Let's be real. Like 36, yeah, I get rid of Wilson. I love Wilson a bit. So it's uncommon for him. He can go as well, yeah. And players like that as well. And if you just follow us on John Sinclair TV, I'm closing on to 11,000 subs, and which has been brilliant. And it's all about working hard. And what shows I got coming up? You still on for 4 o'clock, Tony, for a bit, or are you gonna
Yeah,
come for 4 o'clock, mate. So I'll be back on my show 4 o'clock. So me and Tony back on and see if we can get one more on. So, it's just talking about, like the Euros. We're going to talk about the Premier League and just a bit different, like, as well. So, check a bit of Newcastle fans as well, Tony. So, I'll be back at 4 o'clock.
Gary D says, lads, would you rather sell Minty or take a points deduction for breaching PSR? We can only sell players someone who wants to buy. Do you know what it is, Gary D? I'm going to answer this question. Right. If we overspent and we got a points deduction, and say it maximum was 6 point deduction, but that 6 point deduction didn't really hurt us because we finished in the top 4, then yes, I'm all for it. But if that 6 point deduction meant we didn't get Champions League and we ended up in Europa League, then I wouldn't be very happy at all with the club. So, depending if we can get the points, if you got the points on the board and you're doing really well, and we got hit with a 6 point deduction, then yeah, I'll take it all day. What about you, John?
The thing is, though, right, if he's overspent, right, get the players in, and say we're in a position to win the title or position to get top 4, let's be real, right? They're going to hit us for everything they get. But for me, I'd take it. The points deduction, do you know what I mean? But I don't think our club would take that chance, Tony, I'm afraid. So, crazy, man. But I think you're right. I mean, look, one of these days, clubs could just right, sod you. I always know what we want. You can't tell us what to do. You're going against the points deduction, do it. But it's not your football club. We'll buy who we want. That's it.
Reports are coming out now that £20 million Everton want for DCL, says Connor.
That's interesting. Still don't want him.
Foxy says, win the trophy won't depend on whether Miggy's at the club or not. Lol, Wigan won an FA Cup with Gary Caldwell in the squad. They didn't win it because of him. All these rumours are bollocks. Surely never heard as much rubbish, says Jotwadoni. Let's hope so, Jotwadoni. Let's hope so, mate. Let's hope DCL is just a smokescreen and it's somebody different coming in that we've not realised, It may well be a smokescreen. There's a solid option on the bench, says EB50. Jotwadoni says we get a 20 point deduction, 0 VAR decisions. So yeah, true.
I don't we get a 20 points deduction. I don't think we would. That would go straight to appeal. I think our club would go to the House Court of the Land, and while they're at it, they would tell them to scrap the PSR thing as well for the Premier. They'll win that as well.
The one thing to remember now, guys and girls, is, and look, there could be a silver lining to this. So, just think, because yesterday, the case from Man City versus the Premier League has now ended. So, we now just have to wait to see what the arbitration says. Because no doubt there'll be a leak that'll come out from that. And if Man City have won that case, and we've already heard Ratface yet again say he's not happy about this if Man City win that case, because he knows it's going to be bad news, because he knows it's going to be great news for Newcastle United. So, look, we'll wait and see what happens with the case from Man City, but that finished yesterday. So let's see what happens with that one. Jamstash says, hi, Tony John. Good day, everyone. Good day to you. Davey says, Tony, I'd rather have you up front than DCL. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Come on, Tony. The Salford rounds coming. Did I miss that one out? Did I see that anywhere? Oh yeah, Troll says there's a show called the Salford Rounds, John.
No, we're going to talk about Euros. We're going to talk about journalists as well, making up rubbish as well, and a bit of Newcastle as well. It's going to be a fun hour, guys. Could be between 50 to an hour. So, guys, please join us at 4 o'clock. Do not miss it, guys.
Yeah,
we'll be back.
So before I head off my channel here on It's All Black and White TV, if you're on this channel or you're not on this channel yet, but do come over and do smash the like. It really does help the channel. So follow Sean the Sheep. He would even be better up front than DCL. But do come and smash the like on this channel. It really does help the channel, and it means new viewers find it easily. If you are brand new to It's All Black and White TV, then come over and give me a subscribe and help me towards 1200. And also hit that bell notification if you want to keep up to date with any future shows or pre-records as well. So, and lives. So there we go. But look, we've had a great show today. It's been very spicy at times. We know we're not happy with DCL. Hopefully DCL's to either Leicester or Ipswich. With L in his name, he could be better at Leicester. You know, Calvert-Lewin Leicester. That would be better again. Let him go to Leicester. Let's keep Minty. You know, but as I always say, remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And I'm off now, but I'll be back in about 18 minutes' time on John's show. But until then, how are the lads?
Tony, before you go, right, you've got a donation on Trills.
Oh, sorry. Right. Okay. I'll go straight at that now. Jules has donated 100 NOK. Thank you very much indeed, Trolls. Thank you very much for your kind donation. Thank you very much. I do apologise not seeing that beforehand. Take care, all, says Jopadoni. Yeah. So thank you again, Trolls, once again, mate. Thank you. So I'll be back in about 18 minutes on John's channel. But as I say, till then, bye-bye from me. How are the lads?